Sing it, man?
No, I was playing the song, but the volume is down on the live. But it's here.
Okay. No shit. You said no questions, right? Okay, no shit. Let's get
Rock Rosa.
Huh?
You got to go to Rock Rosa.
Yeah, I think so.
No, title.
No, this is the prescription we're doing for now. I wanted to go into the history of not the history, but you know, that's a little concept. All right, let's grab that pen. That you gonna give it to me. When you're done, this you can pass it up to me once you're done, because I use them too. Put in my SD cards and all that shit. Right, I really wanted to go. Yeah, really wanted to go into the whole thing of Iraq and in the war in the Middle East. Is a whole history. Like America is like that. You guys can say America is like that bully who gets bullied. America is down there, nigga behind green curtain, Wizard of Oz. You know what I mean? Like when you really see what's going on, it's it's all smoke. You know what I mean? Like this ain't the first war they, made a political exit from. You know what I mean? They did the same thing in Vietnam. You know what I mean? And then Viet Cong was sleeping on the ground with all kind of bamboo this and all different types of, traps in the damn jungle, and was just more committed to the war than the sons of the oppressor. Not every brother in the war, because the brothers they would have respect for. You know what I mean? Even in Vietnam, it's I believe it's common knowledge where the media would try to get the brothers to leave. Like, black man, why are you in this war? Why we don't have a problem with you, black man? And they would say all them things.
So I can't help you with that at the moment.
Listen, every woman, she's talking when she ain't supposed to. Anybody ask the bitch nothing?
Alright.
We didn't ask her if she could help us at the moment or nothing like that. She just decided she's gonna run her goddamn mouth.
Right.
You know what I mean? So but this year we are definitely gonna go into the strangeness of our salvation. All right, definitely that. All right, give me the Apocrypha, unless you have any questions. Give me the Apocrypha, 2nd Ezra. Give me 13. Right, 2nd Ezra 13. We definitely could start at 1. Am I too well? I'm good to go up here.
It looks solid, sir. Everything looks solid.
Okay, something looking twisted up here. I know. Drink is not to my mouth.
Yeah.
Nigga said, yeah, drip. That's that drip. Go ahead.
Sorry, I grab a pop from over there.
Yeah. Please.
You got one right here.
Yeah. You have an extra one?
No.
Yeah, also too, I can take extra practice in flipping through them books, sir.
Come on.
Sometimes you can't use that tablet on the podium.
Come on.
Extra practice in flipping through them books. It's for every brother, all right?
Come on, sir.
Let's get 2nd Ezra 13. All right. Let me get a little bit before. Let me get Matthew 24, 1 through 3. I'm gonna skip a little bit in Matthew. Let me get I'm coming as a thief in the night in Peter, 1 Peter 3 and 10 or something like that.
Sound about right, cut.
We only have one of these.
Instance.
We got two.
We got 2 right here in the front.
No, these.
Got one of those. Yes, come.
No,
got some more coming.
No, sir. What about that t-shirt? It's in the car?
I'm going to the car right now.
It's in the car? Go ahead and bring that shit out. I hope the car parked too far though.
It is. It's all the way to the road.
So it'll take you a while?
It might.
Yeah, I mean, Is it in the car though? Okay, no, we'll get it after class. Ain't no sweat.
Okay.
Shut up. All right. Yeah, give me like a FIFA any night. I believe that's it. You was able to get anything out of that?
I got that. I thought I could take this back off.
I don't think them phones the back come off. Anytime you had to use that pin to pop something up, that phone don't split. Even though just when it fall, it don't split into pieces like regular phones. That's why the screens them be cracking, because they're taking the whole impact. They get yourself a case. I don't understand. They make the phones more fragile and then make a case that's indestructible. Why not just make the phone in the case and sell it solid like that? It's crazy. What happened? What's up? Something you throw that? You have COVID?
Nah, no COVID. You know what I mean? Maybe
you had the Delta?
Maybe that. Joy Delta.
Listen,
10.
What it is? All right, cool. So let's get it. Let's start with Matthew 24:1, and then we do Peter. I have a few more. This is just prelude, right? Because not only everybody in the last 50 years or so, right? Let's say 70 years from the 1950s to now, have been witnessing certain things that have been prophesied by the prophets way before time. You get the point? Give me some of those things. Come on.
UFOs.
I'll take that, but that's debatable. I'll take that, but that's debatable. I'm going to tell you why it's debatable. The amount of people who've actually seen UFOs is not the same as the amount of people who've been impacted by the earthquake in Haiti or the tsunami in Papua New Guinea. You remember that? Right, that just killed people in their sleep. You know, hundreds, thousands of people. Go ahead.
Yesterday, a brother online let us know that in Australia, the mice are taking over. Like it's just mice everywhere.
Australia is not Australia. I think it's New Zealand and South Africa. Mice, that plague been happening since last year. Mice is everywhere. I mean, everywhere. Go ahead, Bogwaj.
You just alluded to it.
It's free up this year for me. Always make sure it's have a little freedom, right? That way you don't trip up nothing. Always make sure it's free to move in case I don't move, whatever. Yeah. All right. Give me some more back here. Yeah, that'll work.
That's what?
Yeah, that'll work. Just make sure it's free.
Okay.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, so you just alluded to it, but the earthquakes in diverse places. We just had one in Haiti. Even a few years ago, it was another one similar to this magnitude in Haiti. We had one in Puerto Rico as well as like the locusts just eating up the Middle East and West Africa.
That's true. All that, I'll take that more than the UFOs. The UFOs is good, but not far and wide. A lot of them UFO sightings is ESOS planes. It's what? It's ESOS planes. Is ESOS planes. Not the modern ones now that they're talking about today, that the Pentagon talking about, but the ones you would hear from before. Right? Those are actually those. That's why most of those sightings was where? Anybody remember where?
Area 51.
And where is that?
That's like in the mid-southwest.
It's in the desert. And what's also out in the desert?
The
military bases. Right? They were testing planes that they were building to try to fight our king. Right? And that's why the planes would move in the way the UFO is supposed to move and even look like a UFO. But those things that people were seeing back then, those were not chariots of the Lord. You get me? Some of the ones they're seeing now, they come out and admit that they are chariots of the Lord. right? That they do exist. Before they was not admitting it. I believe it was Reagan said, you know, what if a foreign enemy came? There's a video that perhaps if you could find it, right? Reagan addressing the United Nations. I believe it's United Nations. It's called look type in the space something initiative. I don't want to say spaceship initiative. Space something initiative. Where he was basically letting all the heads of governments, all the heads of nations know that though we fight in this war here, we need to prepare for something that's coming. Because what if the enemy who we think we have is really coming from somewhere else that is more powerful than us, that, you know, something, and then he said, then all our differences would not matter. That's what he said, because it was the Star Wars initiative. I think Star Wars. I think that's what it's called.
I've seen that video before. I think I want to say a year or so ago, but I promise you, I cannot find that video online no more. Okay. I didn't know what to search up because I didn't know who it was that was talking.
I think it's Reagan. I think it's Reagan. Either Reagan or Nixon. It's Reagan.
It's wrong, Reagan.
It's Reagan. It's the Star Wars initiative or the Star Wars space program, something like that. And he said, what if we had a foreign enemy? An enemy that's not from this planet, that came and was more superior than us and wanted to destroy us, then all our differences would not matter. Right. And he said that back in like the 70s or was some other, you know, long ago, long enough. But it was to really gear up towards not space exploration, but space be like, was it the Star Wars or Star Trek where you say these are the log for the final frontier? Like the final, there was always culturing you into space being the final frontier, the final front. This is where we're gonna meet for the battle. Every alien invasion movie was to gear you up to fighting the alien. The aliens is always bad. The aliens always, they can't talk. The aliens this, that, the other. Independence Day was probably the biggest what's the best way? Not conspiracy theory. But the biggest, what is this escaping me now? Propaganda. You know, so it's the biggest propaganda for it. Why? Because they used an Israelite to be the hero, right? You have never seen an alien movie would fall into sci-fi / horror. Black people don't survive in horrors, much less be the goddamn star. But this particular one, this brother, who was a brother in every sense of the word, wife trying to put herself through school, how? Stripping. You have a little boy, he in the military, young. It's speaking to you. These movies are to speak a certain thing into you. You get the point? It's to speak that into you. So now you are all gone home with our oppressor to fight our freedom, which is what he really wants. Because now that the earth is helping the woman, we are in the stage where the earth will help the woman. You can look that up too. Give me that in Revelation. Give me the earth will help the woman. You following it, bro?
I got the video, but it's a pretty long video. It's about 20 minutes long, so I'm trying to find it.
You're trying to
skip through it.
You said a short one. It's like a minute or so.
Yeah, I have it somewhere on my phone now. I'm gonna try to find it and send it to you. Give me Revelations 12. Give me Revelations 12 and start at like 10, right? Revelations 12. Go ahead and read. Everybody, you know who the woman is in Revelation 12? Who's the woman? And okay, let's start reading. The woman is Israel. It's giving you the beginning. I'm just paraphrasing for now, because I don't want to spend too much time on this part of it, right? It's Revelation 12 starts off with the woman. She's in travail. She's giving birth, right? The dragon sees the woman and begins to attack the woman. Who is the dragon?
oppressor.
Our oppressor. Who is the woman giving birth to?
The Spirit of Christ.
The Spirit of Christ or Christ. Meaning, this vision John is having here, let's read it a little bit, all right? 12 and 1. Let's start at 12 and 1. Right? We're going to skip down to the earth helping the woman.
Book of Revelations, chapter 12, verse 1.
Go ahead.
And there appeared a great wonder in heaven, a woman clothed with the sun, and the moon under her feet, and upon her head a crown of 12 stars.
Right, a woman clothed in the sun. And what is under her feet? The moon. The moon is under her feet. What does that mean? So what? You walking here like you need hero. You walking here like just kill 15,000 Philistines for these cups. You don't get to enjoy this drink.
What I thought it was, but they're gonna do
They're enough.
Yeah,
you trust me, Swaki. There'll be much more than that. Half the cups.
right.
That was the Lord. That was the right cup.
Right. You see?
It's the right one. Hell.
The sun and the moon will be wisdom and knowledge.
Wisdom and knowledge. Meaning what? This woman is go ahead.
That's the law, statutes, commandments of the Lord. Spirit.
Yes. Go ahead, Nakama. I wasn't gonna say nothing. Go ahead, handle it. Oh shit, so that.
No. That's my phone card. That's all.
Ain't no sweat. When you come back, you mind checking to see the brothers more drink?
God.
Yeah, I know you're celebrating all them Philistines you just killed. For them precious cups. Right? Okay, this is wisdom and knowledge. The sun and the moon represent wisdom and knowledge because of light. Right? It's the metaphor of light. Meaning this woman is clothed in light. Right? Light of what? The law, statutes, and commandments. How does that apply to today? In 1969, the truth was, the seals was opened on the book. Like when you read the book of Daniel, it says the book was closed up until the last days. They always had the book, they didn't have the truth. 1969, the Lord opened the seals on the book, and the truth started coming out into the earth. You get the point? So since then, this woman, you read as we read on, the woman, she is, just think a woman pregnant, and she's going through the 9 months. And at the end of the 9 months is when Christ is coming back. So now she's growing just like a sister who, make them cups light. Come. So that. Make them cups light. They're small, but you acting like you're trying to see how much they hold. Don't try. don't try. Make them cups very, very light. Very light. All right. So now it's just like a sister. If she get pregnant, is a whole lot of care goes into her after. Her movement, how much exercise she doing, the type of exercise she could do, her diet, what she could eat, what she can't eat, because this thing and this baby is so vulnerable, anything could kill the baby. And it's the same thing here. And this woman now, she's growing and she's growing and she's growing, and she's swelling with this child. This child is the Spirit of Christ, or Christ coming back with his kingdom. You get the point? Like the birth of this baby is going to change everything. So that's what's going on here. So read on now. So we have, she's clothed in light, the sun on her head, she's standing on the moon. Now this woman is lit up. Just think she's lit up. When before the sun and the moon was there, how was the woman? In darkness. You get the point? Think sun and moon meaning light. And before the light, she's no light. It's darkness. Just think us before the truth. Just existing in the world. Nobody cares about our oppression. Nobody cares about nothing. Now, Christ coming from this woman. This woman is Israel. You get the point? Keep reading.
And upon her head a crown of 12 stars.
And upon her head a crown of 12 stars. 12 wide, one for each tribe. You get the point? Focus on. Go ahead.
Verse 2. And she being with child cried, travailing in birth.
Right.
And pain to be delivered.
Right. And she being with child cried, travailing in birth, and in pain to be delivered. You get the point? She's being with child, she's crying because to bring forth this baby is difficult. Just think what black people go through. and all the killing and drugs and murder and mass incarceration as she's pregnant. Just take a woman who's pregnant, but she's not put away in a mansion somewhere. She had to waddle out there in the dead of winter to catch the bus. Yeah, ride that bumpy ass bus. She had to go on the metro and hold on because nobody want to give her a seat. She's still doing shit. She in pain and travail, but she has to bring this baby. She can't just, not bring the baby. You get the point? That's what's going on. That's been going on since 69. You get me? Go ahead.
Okay. Verse 3. And there appeared another wonder in the heaven. And behold, a great red dragon, having 7 heads and 10 horns, and 7 crowns upon his heads.
All right, who's this?
The red dragon will be America.
Does America have 7 horns? 7 heads and 10 horns?
It's like the coalition, sort of like NATO. How is the superpowers of the world?
Sloppy, sir. This is some European countries.
The 7 heads of the European countries, some of the European countries. The 10 horns are more countries that came out of the European countries. This is Esau from the beginning, the devil, that dragon, that powerful creature that destroyed the whole earth. You know what I mean? They got already I wanted to make sure they had a big cup, even in a small cup. You know what I mean? So that's who they are. I had the heads here for you. That's another breakdown. That's the Daniel breakdown, right? With the dragon. What's up, What's up? Come on with it.
No, I just got a knock on me to take some stuff down.
No sweat, please. Don't forget it. All right. Hold on. I have one here. I have one this year. I can't remember this year. All right. So that great dragon having 7 heads and then 10 horns. All right. You read the book of Daniel, you're going to find that breakdown. 7 heads. England, France, Germany, Italy, Spain, Portugal, and Russia. Right? England or UK, France, Germany, Italy, Spain, Portugal, and Russia. Who are the 10 horns? Just think, in Daniel, it will tell you, the horns come out of the head. Just like a goat, the horn comes out of the head.
Right.
But this was a beast that had 7 heads. Right? And these heads ruled the world at one time. Right? Or was joint rulers of the whole world at one time in history. And out of all these heads came these little horns. All right? Go ahead.
Germany.
Germany's one of the heads.
Germany was one.
Germany's one of the heads, not the horns. I need the horns.
America's one of the horns.
America is one of the horns coming out of who?
England.
England. Right? You understand the whole paradigm now? Like out of the heads come these horns. And in Daniel, it describes America as this one little horn that uprooted 3 or 2 other horns. Who was them 2 of? I know it's 2 for sure. It might be 3. I'm forgetting what Daniel said. Who's them other horns?
Sloppy. The state of Israel. Iran.
America came out of.
Well, you're speaking directly on America.
Yeah, in the script, in Daniel, it tells you America is a little horn. It says that. A little horn that uprooted, I think it's 2 other horns. It might be 3, but it says it uprooted 2 other horns. Who's them 2 other horns that America uprooted? Just think about it.
Wrong, right?
America came out of England when? 1700s. And where did America take root? Huh?
Here in America.
So who was here when America was taking root?
Gas.
But okay, these horns have to come out of the head. Gad and Seminole didn't come out of Germany and England. Come on. Spain.
And Portugal. No, not Portugal. Spain.
What?
The French.
French. Remember they had the Louisiana Purchase.
Right.
Remember? So America had to come here and uproot them horns that was there before. Remember, America is like the youngest nation. Right. You really think about a world power. America is very young. It's not old and established. It's very young. Just what, 200 and something years maybe? Almost 250 years old. America on paper is not an old nation. It's a very young empire, right? So now you have all them horns. So this is the dragon that is attacking this woman in this vision. You get me? And it's this dragon because this has been our enemy from back then, from the garden. You get the point? It's the same old serpent that's now the dragon. That's in Revelation 12 and 9. That same old serpent that is now this dragon. This dragon here, he had 7 heads and the horns coming out because it's all these European empires. Them 10 horns, I believe, is the EU, right? The European Union, right? Them 10 horns, they make up that European Union. So keep reading.
Come. Having 7 heads and 10 horns, and 7 crowns upon his head. Verse 4, and his tail drew the 3rd part of the stars of heaven, and did cast them to the earth. And the dragon stood before the woman, which was ready to be delivered, for to devour her child as soon as it was born.
Right, like the dragon don't want to kill the woman because, of course, they need the woman as slaves. They want to devour this child, which is the spirit of Christ. They don't like that spirit of Christ. They absolutely don't. You could be a mayor sniffing crack, but the minute you grow your beard and stop celebrating Thanksgiving, something's wrong with you. You go to the office with your beard, or you show up on the plant or the mechanic shop with your beard, you might have to talk to you. Is everything okay? Why would it not be okay? Forget for a sister. Sisters are putting on a little dress, being a little bit more modest and, more humble. I can't imagine. You weird. And this broad here naked with her whole butt cheek out. But she weird because she decides to put on a dress. But this place hates the spirit of Christ. You understand? The minute a black man becomes masculine, you don't like that. You have to change everything about you because they hate Christ. That's why Christ said, marvel not that they hate you. They hated me first. You get the point? That's the root of their hatred is, this nigger from Nazareth. This nigger from Nazareth that dare speak against Rome. That's the root of their hatred. Always remember that.
Oh, yeah, just being in the truth. I remember as young, when I had a meat tree, I remember I was in school, these girls want to take.
So lucky. He used to rub that meat tree everywhere. Huh? The minute he left the tire of meat tree, the car my everywhere. And I said, be like, well, this nigga, he don't change his shit at all. That's when I knew. It's my calculator right there. So lucky, go ahead.
I just took a picture with some girls in school, and they wanted me. One girl was going to take the picture, the other girl was like, can you take that off? Right. And it's like he said, the spirit of America. I'm like, no. And now today, in the neighborhood where I live in my rib, the woman, every time they see my rib with a dress and a head wrap on, I keep asking her, what are you? The first thing she said, I didn't know y'all was African. I said, nah, I'm here. She said, well, y'all are traditional or something. Like she could have put a word on it, but she was like, y'all are something. And we didn't even say nothing, but just the way your spirit is, the way you dress.
If your rib was half naked, coming out in booty shorts, and them kids was there, she yelling at the kids and acting all wild, that's normal. Right. That's how they want us to be. Right. But the minute you little, respectable and decent and you not American, that's the way to put it. I don't want to sound Christian to down the brothers and sisters that's still in the world. The minute you not American, and to be a black American is different from being a white American. To be black and American, and I'm not just talking about people who live here. The influence of America is all throughout the Western Hemisphere for sure, and it's making its way into the Eastern Hemisphere. But you to be American is to be like that. Your woman has to be half naked. The neighbors have to see your woman titties for a second. Excuse my language. She must come outside in just a t-shirt and go start the car or forget something. So 2 o'clock in the morning, I forget my charger in the car, the booty shorts, and run outside to the car. Am I saying something strange? No. But that's normal. That's normal. Sometime in the car, they was expecting you to go outside and tap the box of the camel box and sit down and tremble and light up and take the longest draw because that's what niggas do. But you ain't doing that shit, and you got 3 kids, and you ain't high, and you ain't got no shady niggas coming in. What is he into? Bro, they having a whole HOA meeting right now about you and how they could raid your house because you must be planning something.
Go ahead. That's a problem because that's all they was asking. Like when I first moved around, like the lady that lived under me, all of them just smoke and the weed go up. But also all through that, my next door neighbor and the person that lives under me, they smell weed in their vents too, so they think it's us. So the lady just asked me, "Hey, let me get some." Like she's like, "Yo, let me get some." I'm like, "Yo, we don't smoke."
Right.
She's like, "Where is it coming from?"
She's like, "You don't smoke. Somebody smoking something good."
Then the next one, the guy that lives right next to me, he got I think 3 boys too, or 4 boys too.
Right.
And he goes out and gets smoke because this is when we put him out. Like put him out for a couple days and he come back.
Right. Right. They ain't seeing that with you.
Yeah. Right. So he asked, "Yo, let me get some weed, man." I know you got some. I was like, "Bro, I don't smoke." He said, "We smell in the vent. Somebody smoking." Oh, we know it was y'all. I'm like, "Yo, we don't smoke." Right. They think I was smoking and shit like, "Nah." So
I feel like, no, I'm starting to look for a spot for you right now tonight. I'm going on the internet. You got to get the hell out of Sodom, Salakia. Because good night, but that's it. You're not doing what the rest of the slaves is doing, so something's wrong. And you have this beard and the braids, and your woman she ain't never cursing you out, and no public, display of just they destroy. America hates that shit. I'm telling you straight up, they hate it. They absolutely hate. You remember? Just a sidebar, we get back on it. When Barack Obama was running for election the first time, he went to Florida for when he was going on his campaign. And a brother, it was in a gymnasium. A brother was up in the bleachers. And the brother told him, "You ain't doing nothing for black people and blah." And the brother really checked him. And Barack Obama rolled his sleeves up and said, "Well, why don't you come down here and do something about it?" And everybody started to say, like, "Ooh." Right. And then the brother is like, "Well, I'll do it, but your security, they're going, the brother wasn't bringing that type of energy. But Obama, he bring that energy because no nigga could check me. And then he started talking about deadbeat dads, and you need to learn to take care of your kids instead of talking to me like that. Barack, please find that for me. Huh? Did you find Nixon's thing? No, sir. Find the other thing with Obama. You surely could find that.
Which one, Nixon?
I think it's the Star Wars initiative when he told the UN.
What if somebody come? What if
another? Yeah. Please find that video.
Reagan. It was
Reagan Salaki.
It going off of that same vibe that Obama was doing. There was one time he was running for re-election, and it was a sister there. They were casting their votes at the same time, and then he was talking to her, and then she was happy to be around the president and whatnot. And he was like, "Oh, is that your boyfriend? That's your husband?" And she was like, "Yeah, that's him." I was like, "Well, he can't do nothing about it." And he put his arm around her, like, "I'm the president. He can't do nothing about it."
Of course. And
she just smiling and cheesing. Yeah, okay,
yeah. No sweat. I'd be the first one to do something about it.
You said that was a man in the. You said it was a man in the crowd.
It was. Just imagine a school gymnasium. It was in Florida, I believe. I believe it was Florida. He was in. He checked Barack Obama for not doing nothing for black people, and Barack is like, "You go do something for your children and stop being a deadbeat dad." And the brother was like, he gave him some oxygen. He's like, "Well, why don't you come down here and do something about it?" And the crowd was like, "Ooh, smoke." But this nigga is protected by people who could legally murder you if you walk too fast up to the president. For him to say something like that to this brother is to punk him. You understand? But this is not because the brother was disrespectful. This is because there's a hatred for the spirit of Christ. All right, let's keep reading. I think I have that Reagan shit somewhere here in the school.
I got it right here. I tried to get a mark.
Well, that's what he was looking for. But I have the whole thing condensed down. I remember saving it a couple of years ago. I done switched phone so much. I try not to lose none of these good videos, boy. But go ahead and read, please.
Come. Book of Revelation, chapter 12, verse 5. And she brought forth a man-child who was to rule all nations with a rod of iron.
You understand? So this man-child she bringing forth, and a man-child meaning what? Okay, he a boy child, but when you say like a man meaning male. But let's say man-child.
He's already learned.
Just think the spirit of it. If they hate Christ's spirit, what do they hate about Christ's spirit? Manly. He's not, as opposed to what do they call us? Boy. Come here, boy. You boy.
Right.
But man is different. And that's Christ's spirit. Christ's spirit gives us masculinity. It puts things back in order. They don't like that shit. You get the point? They absolutely do not like it. You understand? So they hate that thing. And that's why this dragon wants to kill the spirit of Christ. Right? So now, skip me down to, what did I want first? 10?
Count, sir.
Book of Revelations, chapter 12, verse 10. And I heard a loud voice saying in the heaven, now is come salvation and strength and the kingdom of our God and the power of his Christ. For the accuser of our brethren is cast down, which accused them before our God day and night.
Right. Of course, this is our oppressor being destroyed, and in the fourth dimension in heaven where the Most High sits, Christ is there being our lawyer, and the Satan, the angel Satan, is there being the prosecutor. It's court. And he is charging the woman or Israel and telling the Lord, we don't deserve a chance. And Christ is, Your Honor, he had no priors, he this, that, give him a chance. And now, this dragon is defeated. The scriptures say, what is bound on earth is also bound in heaven. What is loosed on earth is loosed in heaven. The fall of the oppressor is simultaneous with Satan losing his power to accuse us in heaven. You get it, one before the Most High. Like, okay, if I could, not to complicate it. You coming into the truth, right? You live your life, you come into the truth as an adult. Not, you're a young kid coming in. You coming in as an adult. You done did heinous things in your life. You coming in 90 days, and everybody goes through a point in time where they're like, I don't belong here because I done did so much shit. That is Satan accusing you before the Lord in heaven. And on earth, that's demon is telling you, you ain't shit, this, that, the other. And he gets it to believe it, and you start doing what your old man used to do. Only for Satan to be like, look, Lord, look what you're doing. Look what she's doing. Right. You want to give them the truth? You want to go give them the kingdom? They don't deserve shit. And Christ is there. Nah, this brother good. This sister here good. I put my life on it. Give them some time. Give them some time. And this court is back and forth. And Satan is accusing everybody of everything, which is why you can never fall weak to your demons. Because the minute you fall weak to your demons, just like in a courtroom, somebody comes up to the prosecutor, hands them an envelope. I'd like to present this evidence, Exhibit A. Play this video. And what the video showing? Take the shield off. Or take this picture up and run up and down whole house real quick. Or whatever else. You get the point? And now Christ had everybody looking at Christ now like, you died for this shit. And he had to double down on it. And say, yes, I died for that thing. They're going to get right. Don't worry. And then you get your ass kicked. Then some unfortunate shit happen to you. Or one of the brothers pass and see you and check you and drag you back to the school. Or life kicks your ass and you come right back into the truth on your hands and knees. And now you're ready to get playboy. Now you're ready. You get chastised. What does the scripture say? The Lord chastises who he loveth. You understand? You get checked now because you broke probation. You ain't supposed to do that shit. The lawyer here fighting for you. You doing some dumb shit and say you just Satan just getting evidence. Lord, I told you. He just sitting down there. Listen, this case is a slam dunk. I told you, look what they're doing. And Christ is fighting. And at the same time, it's the same thing happening here on earth. So now, in the fall of Esau, now Satan, he can't accuse you no more. Because now this woman done bring forth the child, which means what? The woman done went through the whole period of gestation or being pregnant, the whole 40 weeks. Which means what? Now, this nation is full and strong and ready for Christ. You get the point? Now we ain't listening to our oppressor anymore. He's not influencing us no more. And now he lost his power on us. Now Satan can't accuse you. So this verse is talking about that. Read it one more time.
Oh, God. Book of Revelation, chapter 12, verse 10. And I heard a loud voice saying in heaven, now is come salvation and strength. And strength, because before we had no salvation. We looking for hope, but it's like we need somebody to stop this. And we weak. But now you come into the truth. You get strong. And you take hold of it. Now comes salvation. And not just salvation, but power, strength, might. You get the point? Now you could stand up. Now you can really forget your old man and not even think about it anymore. That's a level to reach at. Where you're not even thinking about your old person no more. But you're not that. And that nigga dead. That woman dead and gone. What you talking about is a brand new person here. Right. Now you strong. You're not walking around with a shadow. That's why Esau had that system with the ankle bracelet and the felonies on your record. Because no matter how much you change in Esau's world, there's somebody who will always say, yeah, but you were just an old drug addict. You just an old regular, you're ex-con. I'm a con now. I'm a felon. No matter what you do with your life, not in here. Not in here. You could leave that coffin by the door and come in here and be brand new and be strong about it. Be fully strong. You never sinned against the Lord. You can stand boldly. You get the point? Keep reading. Oh, God. And the kingdom of our God and the power of his Christ.
Right? And the kingdom of our God and the power of his Christ. Now is that coming here. Now is the kingdom of our God, the kingdom of heaven. We always say that in the UPK is the kingdom of heaven. Imagine this everywhere. Everywhere. How we operate. Just imagine how we operate everywhere. Everywhere. It's going to be ridiculous. You get the point? Go ahead.
For the accuser of our brethren is cast down.
Say it again.
For the accuser of our brethren is cast down.
The accuser of our brethren is cast down. The accuser in the fourth dimension is Satan in the court, before the Lord, accusing us day and night. And on earth, what's going on? Tonight on the news, a black man, and they put his face on his name and where he lived. But when white people do some shit, is, a Caucasian male from East Albuquerque, something, 30 seconds and the story done. But let one of us do something, the name plastered across, the worst pictures, the worst stories, and they keep repeating it because here they even accuse us every day. You get the point? Them white people stormed the Capitol and was responsible for the deaths of 4 police officers, 2 on site and 2 committed suicide after, due to the Capitol riots. But somehow, DC police take all the frustration out on a young brother down in South. He's claiming he had a gun, punch him up in his face, fracture his damn face. You get the point? And then Muriel Bowser get up and say, we have to be tough on crime. That was a known open-air drug area, and at least we got the gun, meaning it was a necessary evil. You get the point? Not these racist devil white cops, but that brother, that was break a few eggs to make an omelet. Our accuser is working both sides. You understand? Keep reading.
God. Which accused them before our God day and night.
When?
Day and night.
Which is why you can never have a day off. You understand? The scripture says, keep your garments. Meaning, in the spirit, never, it's like how you would come home from work and take off your working clothes and hang it up. Why?
You're off duty.
Because you're off duty. In the spirit, Christians come home and take their spirit off. They go to church and sing and dance, and by Sunday evening they back getting high or hoeing because they can go next week and beg for forgiveness. The scriptures say, "Keep your garments on." Be always in the work, meaning be always in the spirit. Why? Because there's somebody waiting to accuse you day and night. There's a prosecutor that's not going to sleep out. This nigga working. He waiting just for you to slip, to bring the holes of demon world down on you and get you jammed up. And then when the demon leave you and you wonder how I end up here, he going to say, "See, told this person was a piece of shit. They don't deserve what you did. You made yourself a fool for them. Look at it. You think they care about the blood of Christ and nigga clowning? You get the point? This accuser, now they're celebrating because this accuser is cast down. He done. Right? Skip me down to 15.
Come. Book of Revelation, chapter 12, verse 15. And the serpent cast out his mouth water as a flood.
No, hold on, Salakia. Read 11.
Come. Verse 11. And they overcame him by the blood of the Lamb and by the word of their testimony.
Mm-hmm.
And they loved not their lives unto the death.
What does that mean? If you can't find it, come. I don't sweat it. I'm gonna find it afterward. But the other one, I want with Barack Obama.
So like I found it typed out. I just gotta grab the video. It was in Chicago. I don't think it was in Florida. I think it was in Chicago.
Okay, no sweat. Hold on, I'm gonna send you the one. No.
Obama?
No. What's his face? Reagan? I'm gonna send you the one with Reagan now.
Okay.
Let me see what minute this is. First minute where he addressed the outside threat. See if you find it, all right? You can listen to it real quick. All right, and then you could look up the other one with Obama. I believe it's Florida, where Obama calls man deadbeat. You can look up that and see. All right, go ahead.
They overcame by the blood of the Lamb. It's like the grace we were given, with the second chance we were given, and by the word of the testimony, by what we did to prevail.
Right. What we did afterwards, meaning how you change your life. That's your testimony. That's how you testify. That's how you witness. Like how the Christians say, whoever confessed that Christ came in the flesh, they teach it like it's something with your mouth. This is talking about whoever confessed that Christ came in your flesh, meaning you using your body to prove that Christ actually came through. You get the point? Go ahead. You finish up that. We definitely need it. All right, go ahead, grab it. I'm just saving the receipt. I'm gonna shoot it back. Yeah, you have it? No sweat. How much exactly do they need with tax?
Yeah, counselor, isn't it?
He Ronald Reagan will come to call.
I got the wrong one right here.
Play it if you have it, please. You can pull it up on the computer. I'm going to send you some bread, all right? Just go ahead and grab it. Save the receipt from me, all right? Honestly, give me all right, where was that?
I'm taking a shot at breakdown
of
verse 11. So by the grace of Christ, we had a chance to try to change ourselves, and by the word of our testimony, telling how we changed our life. And they said they love not
you
their
play it
lives.
now?
I got it now. Yeah, I just pulled it up.
Just let me know once it's place so the brother stop reading. All right. Okay. Go ahead.
And they loved not their lives unto the death. Basically, we didn't this world that being in the world, we didn't love the things of the world.
Love not their lives unto death. See that part again?
Like basically the sacrifice. We sacrificed the world that we were in before.
So what does it mean, love not their lives unto death?
That's what I was saying. Like we didn't love the world no more. Like we came out of the world.
What does it mean until death?
Kept our garment on.
No. What does it mean until death? Sis?
Is it the prophets that died because of the work that they performed?
You answer it. You answer it.
Who was that?
We're in verse 11. Bukwash?
So is it that they gave up their life for the sake of the truth? Like even if someone says stop speaking what you're speaking or we're going to kill you, they're going to keep speaking because it's the truth?
That's the part. Not give up your life because it's the truth. The part where the threat comes and you continue. You understand?
Okay.
That's you not loving your life unto death. You could not love your life until losing a job. Because why?
You can get another one.
You could get another job. You could not love your life until losing a rib or a husband. Why? You will get another one. You could love your life until losing a child. Because you could make more. But to not love your life unto death, it's a hard decision. Because you ain't coming back. Not you. You're going to be reborn, but that's it. You could die right here by the next words you say. The next words you say, that's it. That could be your last. Right? And they said these men did not love their lives even unto death. Meaning, when the threat of death came, whatever. That's what you want. You understand? And that's how they overcame. That's how we overcome this world. When I say this world, to be specific, our oppressor. Because this world, we're not overcoming trees and dolphins, which is in the world. You get the point? We're not overcoming air and COVID. You know what I'm saying? What you scared of more? COVID or these racist bastards? The racist bastards. That's the threat. There's no vaccine for them. Right. Pfizer could stop the COVID. What the hell is stopping these cops? Right. Nothing. You understand? To overcome these racist bastards, you're going to have to be willing to just die for saying the truth. You get me? Now, skip to 13.
Come.
Give it to me.
Book of Revelation, chapter 12, verse 13. And when the dragon saw that he was cast onto the earth, he persecuted the woman which brought forth the man-child. Verse 14. And to the woman were given 2 wings of a great eagle.
That's something to do. Let me know if you have.
That she might fly into the wilderness.
So, read it again.
Come. Verse 13. And when the dragon saw that he was cast onto the earth, he persecuted the woman which brought forth the man-child.
Right. So now, when the dragon saw that he was cast to the earth, what did he do? Remember, what was he after in the beginning?
He was after the child.
He was after the child. Now that we brought the child, what is he doing now?
Persecuting and going after the mother.
He's going after the woman now, because now it's your fault this happened. Now, every time you see these cops over-aggressively do something to black people, just know why. Understand why. You see how they deal with Hispanic brothers and Native Indian brothers and sisters? It's in their spirit. It's down in the house, in their DNA. like them impalas and them deers. You know, not even a deer. Them impalas is what you want to look at. They know when that grass part and they see two eyes, it's instinctive to run. They don't have to think about it like, is this that lion look like he ain't fast? They don't consider that shit. They're gone. They don't think about it. You get the point? They go down to drink. They're keeping their eyes on that water because, okay, I could die of thirst or I could die getting eaten. Let me go eat. Let me go drink. But I'm watching this pond. Anything ripple, I'm jumping. They don't have to think. These oppressors it's sewn into them to be brutal to us. It is sewn, it's absolutely sewn into them. And the scripture above it talk about it. They're going to get more brutal. They're going to get more brutal. It says, I'm going to read it. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and the sea, for the devil is come down unto you, having great wrath, because he knoweth that he had but a short time. See everything that's going on, all this, everything that's going on in the earth, right? Afghanistan, COVID, earthquakes. Nothing bothers this oppressor more than black people not sinning anymore and obeying God. That shit, he'll have a full-out conference about. You understand? Brother, they got scared with the Black Panthers. You understand me? Who had white women up in there, Chinese people on the board. Part of them was, part of the organization was doing drugs. Now, I'm not trying to throw dirt on them. I'm just trying to show you they were not what Christ wanted. But they were organized as black men. They were feeding kids. They were patrolling the streets. They had a whole government meeting about them. How to stop them. You get the point? Now, imagine you come together and we ain't letting nobody in. We ain't taking no funding. We not sinning. We obeying the Lord. We ain't intermarrying nothing. What do you think they're going to do? You think they're going to have a meeting about this shit? No. We had to meet this with violence, because if them niggas bring forth that child, we done. We have but a short time. He's coming with wrath. You get the point? No, he didn't have that hatred for the Afghanis though, and the Taliban. He pulled off of that shit. He said they can't do it no more. But they got energy for us though. They didn't have energy on January 6th. I didn't see one cop punching on them. They opened the door, let them in. They was running, turning and running. But that little brother down there in South, he got his full tail whoop because, let me rephrase that. He got assaulted, fully assaulted, jumped and beaten. Why? Because he black and you could do it? Nah, it's a little bit deeper than that. It's a little bit deeper than that. But they ain't blow out the brains of no Arab cab driver after 9/11. They ain't did that. You get the point? All these Arab immigrants coming in, them Afghanistanis, they're the adults they're the adults who were once children in 2003, 4, and 5 when it was bombs over Baghdad. And they're adults now. And you letting them in the country with goddamn papers? There's no detention center for them. Ain't no ICE gonna kick in their door and drag them out. They don't have energy for them. But for you and I, brother, they got time today, cuz. Come on now.
Now that's exactly what I was gonna say. I wanted to bring out how when you see that picture of the US, that big old plane, that big old whatever you call a plane, C-130, full of Arabs. They will never put SPICs in that.
Mm-hmm. Right. They would never do it.
I'm like, and they gonna come in America with no issue, no problem.
Listen, I remember Yash had put in the chat. I was looking back for the article. Remember the day the bridge fell in DC on 295? There's a bridge that fell on 295. That same day, they brought in 2,500 Afghanistani refugees. And he sent the article, and I was like, refugees? What's going on in Afghanistan? But I paid it no mind. Now we have about a month later this thing, and they're acting surprised, like a sudden Taliban takeover. Y'all brought 2,500 in. It's in the news with papers. They had stuff already. They say they was bringing them in, and they had housing for them, and they're gonna process them too so they can work. But they call them Afghani refugees. Let me find the article. Let's scroll back in the DC chat, please. Come on.
And it's because they so-called help. They helped these Arab.
These are the ones who. It's like how the generals bring out. It's so spiritual. Like how Christ say, there are people who gonna be on the chariot that will wonder how they get there. And Christ said, "When I was hungry, you fed me, and when I was thirsty, you clothed me." And then they say, "Well, listen, Christ, I never fed you." Then he said, "Well, whatever you did to the least of these little ones, you have also done unto me." That's going on the left hand side. Them Arabs. How they get here? When Trump and Biden was hungry, they fed them. They never met Biden. How did they do it? They helped them soldiers. They snitched and told them where everybody is and where the Taliban hideout is and blah 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 blah. And now that America is leaving and pulling out of there, that's their 1/3 there. That's their multitude that has to go. That's gonna happen again. They're only gonna be on the right hand side this time. Go ahead.
I heard earlier they said the first plane arrived in the U.S. today.
From there?
Come.
There's a plane that arrived before. See if you find that article, please. It's in the chat. That's the first plane they're admitting to in the public now. But brother, that bridge fell on 295 like what? 3 weeks ago, 4 weeks ago?
No, it was more than that.
Nah.
Concert.
Man, y'all tripping. I know I'm this. I know I ain't yelling sharp like y'all doing what's like here.
Sometime in July.
July was when? Last month. A month ago. Y'all say longer than that. God damn it, man. That COVID messing your brains up. That COVID, that's what I say. That's the first sign you haven't trouble focusing on memory. Come on,
sir. In a protocol like that, the Marines that are stationed at the embassy, they're supposed to.
What date?
It was June 24th.
It's almost a month ago. Almost 6 weeks then. You was like longer than that. God damn it. So you'll make it sound like it's January or something. Right? But look at the DC chat. The brother posted it there. Go ahead.
Concert. The Marines is with a couple of other embassy staff is supposed to be the last ones that are supposed to be off the site.
Mm-hmm.
I saw a post where it has all the Marines that was posted there back in Quantico now.
Brother, they've been doing this move. I'm looking for the damn article now. Just scroll back in the chat. I asked Camo, he posted it. He posted it in there about how
July 30th.
Yeah, how they brought this plane with 2,500 Afghani refugees. Is it Afghani?
It's right here.
Please read it.
Oh no, that was a YouTube. It's a YouTube clip.
Okay. I thought there's an article. I think there's an article. I actually might have sent it.
Okay. IR said the one that says 100 Afghans evacuates fleeing Taliban arrive in U.S. He said this 2 weeks ago, July 30th.
Right, July 30th. And this thing happened when? No, there's an article he posted long before that too. It was right around the time that bridge fell out. I'm gonna find it. Anyway, let's keep going. All right. So where we at now? So now this dragon is turning on the woman because the woman bring forth this child, this king who's gonna rule the whole world. Right? Go ahead.
Okay. Verse 14.
Mm-hmm.
Verse 14. And to the woman were given 2 wings of a great eagle, where she might fly. That she might fly into the wilderness, into her place, where she is nourished for a time, and times, and half a time, from the face of the serpent.
Right. Now, of course, that's when we're gonna get taken up and set down in the wilderness and appointed place to start to organize ourselves as a people. Just like when they came out of Egypt, how Moses had the camp and he set up the government. He said 12 from each, well-known men from each of the tribes, and he set up men to hear all the, problems of Israel. That's going to happen again with the Lord. You get me? Go ahead.
Okay. Verse 15, and the serpent cast out of his mouth water as a flood after the woman, that he might cause her to be carried away way of the flood.
Salaki, I believe this time is now. So this thing here with the woman, I'm gonna have to get a clarity on that. I think this time here is now, because this is the spirit of Christ that the serpent trying to kill. He can't kill the spirit. He starts killing the woman to, now attack the spirit. This is now when the Lord is going to protect us. But because of it, this serpent is starting to spew waters out his mouth, right? Out his mouth, water as a flood after the woman. What's it say? That he might cause her to be carried away in the flood. What is that?
The lies.
Break it down.
Like just a whole bunch of lies and deception.
Yeah, break it down a little more than that.
On Israel.
Yeah, break it down a little more than that. Right? Yeah, break it down a little more than that. You're right about the lies. Put that like there for me, please. You're right about the lies. You're absolutely right about the lies. But break it all the way down. Bring it till today.
Lies about how we're criminals and
a little more than that. A little more. A little more than that.
It's like if I could, lies to turn the rest of the world against us, so it'll be easier for anybody to take up arms or to take a position against Israel.
Remember, this is, you're right, but this is not to attack the what?
The mother.
Which is really attacking what? The spirit of Christ, right? So what these lies are. Okay, what is going on today that they need to lie about that's bringing the spirit of Christ?
Is it lying against I.S.U.P.K?
Yeah, give me some more. Okay, something is going on right now that's bringing forth the spirit of Christ that they have to lie about.
Who are the true Jews?
Who are the real Jews? So now, what do they have to say?
They are the real Jews.
Well, that's been a lie from the 40s, right? From 1940, I believe it was. Is it 1940? When they established
late 52.
52 or something like that, right? When they established the state of Israel. That's one. There's more. Where's the sign? Pick up that sign on the ground. War. You're not explaining nothing now. Just saying a word. What does that mean?
You said there's a lot. So I think I heard your question correctly. You said what's one of the things they have to lie about that's right now that they
that will bring forth the spirit of Christ. You see, you have to break it down. You have to break it down. Fix the thing when you're done too. This. Right? This was pushed everywhere. On everything. Everywhere. Right?
Come.
The truth started coming out. Then HBO made a movie called The Borgias because now they can't lie about it anymore. They had to own it. Before HBO made that show, The Borgias, outside of the UPK, where did you ever see or hear that this man's name was Caesar Borgia, the son of Pope Alexander VI of Rome, Rodrigo Borgia? He had a sister named Lucretia Borgia, who he had sex with, murdered her husband because he loved his sister so much. Where did you ever hear that? Never. But the truth comes forth, so they have to own this. And they come out with the Borgias. At the same time, all the history channels, Christ never existed. He never existed. You get the point? He never existed. He wasn't really real. This, that, the other. If the Jews are really black and the Jews went into slavery, then now we must say that there was no transatlantic slave. It was a transatlantic migration. And your forefathers just came here for work. It was bad work and they was paid. That's in textbooks right now. Right? Now, is that the truth?
No.
That's a full blatant lie. But the generations now in the earth, not just us, But the rest of the world, they're going to start saying that. Yes, slavery was long ago, but you know, you're free now. Another lie. Like they're going to lie to now curb this rise for judgment that comes out of the truth. Because as you learn who you are, you learn you're the real Jews, you learn that your people are 12 tribes of Israel, what do you want next?
Justice.
Justice. And justice means somebody got to pay.
Right.
Well, nobody could pay if it's critical race theory. You understand? Critical race theory is designed to do what? Sweep away the woman in the flood. You understand? All the censorship, you can't say the white man is the devil, you can't say that. All that is to sweep away the woman in the flood so she can bring forth this manly spirit, this masculine spirit. So as he fallen down to the earth, now lies come out his mouth, just like, you know, any guilty person. They're going to lie to, you know, like just think slander. You get the point? Now their lies because they're the devil. In 12 and 9, it says, this is the devil that deceiveth the whole world. This man has the ability to influence very strongly. You understand? He has the ability to influence the world a whole lot. What he says is very believable. So as he's saying these things, this woman is in the flood. And this flood is coming through, and now you had to battle people on what's true and what's not true. I'll give you another lie, another flood. Around the time of Trump's campaign, either just before, just after he won, these Republicans started, I forget what was the name of their point of view, but they started saying black people were better off in slavery. Remember that? Like you know, really make America great again. Why? Because y'all were better off in slavery. Y'all wasn't killing each other. Y'all wasn't doing this. So now, if you're not in the truth, you say what?
Oh, you was right.
You're right. We was better off. I see your point. What other policies you have that you're right about? You'll actually give them an ear. And that's how some black people got on this Trump train. Because they're not in the truth. And they're easily swayed by every wind of doctrine. That's in the Bible. Easily swayed. You can't look at it and be like, that's bullshit. You get the point? You can't look at it like that. Guess who else didn't kill nobody when they was oppressed? The Jewish man. He wasn't killing nobody when he was burning in the oven. You want to put him back in the oven now? No. Everybody will say that's inhumane. But when it comes to us, they'll come and say anything. Why? Because they don't want that spirit of Christ to rise up. So, come on.
Oh, Salami, so for me, another big lie is telling the whole world, or eventually that we are of African ancestry.
Oh my gosh, ADOS, the African what? Is he
African descendant of
African diaspora? No, what? What's let's look it up. Look up ADOS, right? African descendants of slaves. ADOS. They have a whole new thing now. We all African, and we all come from the motherland, and this, that, the other. That's another lie. No sweat, no sweat. So you just catch up in class, online or something. Right? Go ahead.
And Kevin bring out is most definitely heavy because, like he's saying, like how the heathens always would kill us, so they would not. So just like believing in the New Testament, where the Pharaoh would kill. When he is a Pharaoh that took over Egypt, it was either one. I'm sorry, not Pharaoh. It was either one rule of Israel. He was done. It was a new one, and then he didn't. He started.
It was a Pharaoh.
Oh, it was Pharaoh.
It was the Pharaoh.
Not in Egypt, but it was in the time of Christ, or before Christ was born. A little before Christ was born.
Okay, you're not talking about the one with Moses.
No, I'm talking about when they had left
and went to hide in Egypt.
Well, yeah, because they heard how
Caesar was killing.
Now Caesar wanted to kill
everybody on the two.
You want to kill all the boys or all the baby?
Yeah, up there. Yeah.
So it's some of the spirit because they were doing that then and then.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Exactly.
Like so like back to how he's saying is like the scriptures bringing out how the dragon killed the child. Then Caesar. The reason why Christ's parents had left is because they was killing everybody all the boys.
They was killing all the
boys under 2. And now, today we find out things they did to us back in the 60s and 70s, whereas though it's several more rivers in America that were black towns, and they killed all the black people, and then just flooded their town.
Yep, a lot of black towns is underwater, and you never hear about them. You know, there's some of them that you hear about. Some of them you will never know was even there until Christ come back. Which is why, and that's a good point. Like in the flesh, they was doing that to us. They did it with Moses, with Pharaoh, trying to kill the firstborn. Because why? He heard about this man-child that was supposed to come and free the Israelites from Egypt. Same thing with Caesar. Caesar heard what? This child would be born. And he went again to kill all the children under 2 years old. And Joseph had to take Mary and roll out for a bit. You get the point? Or else there would be none. And it's the same thing here why they push abortion on us so much. But they want to make sure that male children go. You get the point? They want to make sure that, you know, it doesn't happen. You understand? So it's down there. It's the same spirit. But now we're talking about in the spirit realm. They don't want us to, as a nation, to have that spirit. So now they try to kill the spirit. They try to kill the woman bringing the spirit. Now that they're getting cast down, America is falling. Now they have to start lying and flooding the place with these waters. The waters is represents the lies out his mouth. Right? A dragon normally breathes fire. Right. He can't breathe no fire no more because he ain't have no power to destroy. But he do have power to lie. Like how water would, just think how water would come and sweep you away and you can't go over there anymore because the current is carrying it this way. That's the lie. And it's so many big examples of the lie. Those are named was just a few. All right. Keep reading.
Okay. Verse 16.
Mm-hmm.
And the earth helped the woman.
Say it again.
And the earth helped the woman.
Say it again.
And the earth helped the woman.
Go ahead.
And the earth opened her mouth and swallowed up the flood which the dragon cast out of his mouth.
What is that talking about? Come on.
The earth, helping the woman would be like, all the lies they're trying to conceal everything. But things, literally things that are buried in the earth, like this, everything about the earth will reveal.
Not everything about the earth, but the things that they thought was dead and gone and buried is going to come out the ground. Like, there's no way to stop this thing. This is like a good movie that's, like when you watch, Terminator or, Matrix or Endgame. Even though you're watching Marvel Endgame with Thanos, before the movie starts, what do you know about the end?
That the Avengers are going to win. That
you already know they're going to beat Thanos' ass. You already know it, right? Why do you watch it? Just ask yourself that. You already know. You already know, the villain is going to get defeated. When you watch Batman, you already know Joker going to get beaten. But you go buy a ticket and you go watch the movie. Why?
Can I give my own person?
I mean, you can't be anybody else.
I've been talking about Thanos before anybody knew who Thanos was.
Okay, we ain't talking about Thanos.
I'm just saying, like, I watched it to see, to prove that I've been saying he's a bad mofo for the longest and watch how bad he is.
Okay, did he get beaten in the end?
He got beat?
All right, that's what I'm asking you about.
All of
I'm asking you about, your Steven Spielberg experience. I'm asking you, why do you watch it? Come on.
Oh, sorry. For the entertainment.
You watch it because it's good, right? This shit is done written now. Our people don't know that. Our people think there's nothing else to life but to be a slave. Right. So you either be the best slave or you just get high and pray to die. That's the life outside of the truth. You either suit up and mess up your face, or you go abuse your body if you're a woman and kill babies and pretend to be so enjoying life and independent, but you crying inside. You gotta go to the bathroom and you washing under every store. And once nobody there, you cry. When you cry, you get it together, and you come back. Hey, how you doing? clucks, and you walk back to your desk. But you're a goddamn, psychiatric ward. You're like 10 Bellevue in the office. That's our life. But in the truth of, you come in here and you hear, what? The white man is the devil. The first time you hear it, I remember a brother, me and I, young in the truth, coming in the truth. We brought this other brother from Trinidad we was in Eastern school with. Everything looking weird to him, everything. Even the brother who was the Shema was this brother named Shemai One. Shemai One was a stone cold brother. Shemai One was deaf, could not hear. He would speak at the camp. When he's on post, he's signing the speaking because he used to go to that school on Florida, Gallaudet, and people knew him from there, so they would stop and listen. So as the general breaking shit down, breaking the shit down to them. I think another brother came in from that too. His name was Kazak something. Forget his name. Anyway, Shemai One was the Shema. Shemai One come down and you don't know he deaf, but he looking at your front and you don't know why, because he reading your lips. He could read your lips from across the street. And he reading your lips and stuff. So he's like, yo, what's up with this guy? And when we told him he's deaf, he's like, nah, we lying because you would not know Shema One deaf unless somebody tell you he's deaf. And that was the Shema, so you already know, don't play with that guy. He'll fold you up and not hear your screams. He'll fold you up real quick and not hear your scream. But he was the Shema, that's the thing who's searching you and pleasant and talking to you. He would search you and look around over your shoulder to see your mouth as you're talking, so he could read your lips, but you would not know. And brother, we walk into the school and Caesar is on the ground. And it says, wipe your feet, 666. And this brother go to walk, and before he put his foot down, he extend his foot and trip over. So he's like, what's up? He said, yo, boss, them and Caesar, they have Jesus on the ground. He said, I don't know about this. And left that. He couldn't see Jesus on the ground. He's not Christian though. He don't go to church. But Jesus on the ground. It's shocking. But brother, you come in here and you hear the white man is the devil. You hear the real Jews are black. You hear things to give you strength and hope. And then you read that he's going into slavery. That's a movie I want to see. Right. The speakings we do, just think of them as a glorified trailer. This place is going to burn. The white man is the devil. He that leadeth into captivity must go into captivity. Brother, that's this Friday. You want to see that shit through. Right. You want to see that thing through. This movie done written. His end is done. But even though he had a lie about it, and some people who don't have the truth, they're going to believe the lie. Like how you said, Thanos was a
bad mofo.
But what do we know?
He was a villain.
No, what we know is Thanos' end. If this is a comic book that's written about action heroes,
he's gonna get destroyed. All
right then. He could be how bad? What we know about the white man? He's a bad mofo. You understand? He brings fire. The scripture calls him a bad mofo. You need me to show it to you? Yo, I hope so. I hope so. He makes miracles from the earth and deceives the whole world, rains fire down. That's what it says in the Bible. He's a bad boy. This book says he's going to be defeated. Some people believe in this bad mofo. No sweat. No sweat. We're going to see what's going to happen. Come on the camera.
Right. That's why, we had brought the scripture out Monday. That's why it's going to be so confusing when the Lord brings it down low, then the whole world looking at him narrowly. Like,
is this? That's what I'm trying to get to, but I'm sure if I'll get to it tonight. God damn.
Is this the man that we fear?
That's one in Isaiah 14. Hold that for me, but not right now. But I want to get to the strangeness of our salvation. Right. Because how this shit gonna happen? I mean, after the first endgame thing, when Thanos snapped his fingers, everybody was like, well, he's the man. He won. They had to do some crazy thing to even get back to beat him. Right or wrong? It's going to be some crazy shit to get this white man in chains out. It's going to be so crazy. It's never been done before in the whole world. Ever. And it's going to be so glorious. It's going to eclipse is going to cast a shadow on what the Lord did to Egypt, which till today is the greatest story everybody ever know about. The destruction of Egypt. I don't care what any commission say. There's chariot wheels at the bottom of the Red Sea. How the hell they get there? Pharaoh threw them away? How, dummy? How, Imhotep and Horus? Right? How did them chariot wheels, gold plated, get to the bottom there? With corals growing all over them. You know how long it takes for a coral reef to guide and grow? It takes a long time. You can look it up. Go look up how long it takes. A coral it grows over time with little dust and trash and, you know, little living on it, and it grows over stuff. Coral doesn't grow over 40 years. Coral takes a long time to grow. You have chariot wheels down there. The earth is helping the woman. That thing did happen. Come on.
It's like while we was on the Marvel, you know, I heard about
Go ahead.
I mean, you know, Bob Shaw, you know, I'm dead.
I'm going to indulge you. Go ahead.
See the whole thing, because I mean, I heard that when we come up to the chariots, you know, everything that was wrong with us gets replenished, and we even get some type of little superpower when we like the Marvel characters. You know. You want me to show it to you? Or no. I saw it. I just
you saw it. Yeah, oh, okay. But don't talk about Thomas no more. Then let's talk about us then, because we're the real superheroes. You right in a way. We don't have superpowers like flying and laser beams coming onto your eye. Okay. It's down here like today. Like you look at the NFL. You look at the NFL at all? You look at it, bro. Just name me a player in the NFL who's a brother who is just a freak of nature. Not a player you like. A player who is a freak of nature.
Play for us.
Play for who?
Chase.
Nah, I'm messing with you.
What's his name? Chase Young.
I don't know. I don't know.
He's defensive end. Played for the Redskins with Sloppy, for the Washington football team. Mm-hmm. And if you ever saw him stand next to everybody else, you're like, man, what is this, Samson? And he a youngin'.
Okay, I ain't talking about size. I'm talking about the thing he does on the field is ridiculous.
That too.
Okay, describe it. I'll come to you, bro.
Like he's getting the sack 2-3 every game. Nothing stopping.
That's not, not what I'm talking about. But that's okay. I'll take that.
I was gonna say you could just somebody's known Marshawn Lynch or Ray Lewis or something.
I'll take Marshawn Lynch. I'll take that one who is called the cheetah. That nigga is a freak of nature.
Oh, cheetah. Yeah,
you know the dark skinned brother from Florida. That's in Florida. You from? Something like that is his name. There's a few of them who is just like, what the hell is this nigga eating? That Barry Sanders is another one.
Yeah, Barry Sanders is crazy.
I mean, you like them niggas is freaks of nature. Imagine him going to the Passover, never marrying white women, with a sword on his hip, and told, go take over Moab. 100 of them niggas. That's, just picture that when the Lord done set us back down in our perfect bodies. You understand? Like, you have brothers on the earth today who are damn near like, you have supernatural powers. You have brothers like that who are Michael Jordan, LeBron James, forgot them, you know what I mean? You have some young skinny nigga in the NBA, just something, that dunk from damn near the damn bleachers, just fly up in the sky and dunk. You've seen it, and they're slaves for our oppressor. Imagine if they were free, what they would do. Just imagine if Shaquille O'Neal was free to not bounce a basketball and to stop the drug dealer. What he would do I'm talking about Shaq in his prime, not big Shaq from Suns. I'm talking about Orlando Magic Shaq. What he would do if with a drug dealer on the corner. You understand? It's not that far-fetched because we are already supernatural in captivity. You see, imagine the scriptures say David could leap over a wall. You understand? Your brother's doing that right now. Your brother's doing that easily right now. They have Olympics for all that type of shit. It's not that hard to imagine. Just imagine it being on the right-hand side. You get me? The earth helping the woman. Just for time's sake, let me give you one quick one. You all ever heard about the Bat Creek Stone? Bring it out from there.
That's the stone that they found in New Mexico.
I believe so.
Where it had. I think it's the oldest like artifact of the commandments on there, proving that the Gadites, they were trying to keep the laws as much as possible.
Okay, they have one which was the Ten Commandments.
Okay.
It was a copy of the Ten Commandments. And then there's another one that had Hebrew on it that the Smithsonian had read upside down for years. I'm looking for the video. It was on Fox News. I forget the devil name.
Glenn Beck.
Glenn Beck.
Okay.
Glenn Beck, when he was on Fox News, he did the story on it and how it was in the Smithsonian basement because it was upside down and they couldn't figure out what language it was. And while they was moving some boxes in a relocation of the Smithsonian, the thing fell out and one of their so-called scholars saw it right side up and said, that's ancient Hebrew. And then they realized it was ancient Hebrew. But the UPK been teaching ancient Hebrew since 69. They don't know that that's ancient Hebrew. And now they get to realize that funny shaped tablet they found in New Mexico was the Ten Commandments because now they're looking at it as ancient Hebrew. Even in the Ten Commandments movie, when Moses come down with the tablet, it's Hebrew. It's ancient Hebrew that's written on the ship. Even in that Black Panther movie, there's a part where the brother who played Killmonger goes into a dream where he goes and talks to his father in the apartment in LA, right? And he opens a notebook the father has. And on the first page, it's not Hebrew, but it looks just like the ancient Hebrew written all over it. Like, these people know exactly who we are. They understand it. And even with all their lies, the earth is going to bring forth archaeology to help. And the thing has just begun. You're going to see some other stuff now. Not that them Taliban over there, brother. You're going to see some other shit come out of the Middle East that's just going to be like, see? Told you. You understand? Because they're going to go back looking to set up their old ways. And as they find in their old ways, the earth will help the woman. You're going to see it coming out more and more. Come on.
Oh, SHALAM. That was Glenn Beck's last. They fired him.
They fired him after that. You're right. Fox got rid of him after that. He said, "This is Hebrew. How could the native Indians have a copy of the Ten Commandments in ancient Hebrew?" I'm looking for the video because I have it. He said the Spanish conquistadors didn't bring it. The Europeans didn't bring it. It was here with the native Indian people. That could only mean that they are Hebrew. He said it on Fox. And that was the end of him. He was done.
Sloppy, sir.
Please.
To add on, he started out talking about the pyramid in Egypt and then seeing one of the ancient structures over here that they had the same mathematics. And then that's when he started going into the
whole thing about it being...
Okay.
I'm looking for the thing. I know I have it somewhere in this goddamn phone.
It's another stone, too, they found in Ohio.
There's a few of them.
Yeah, the brother was just talking about on Facebook. They said one in Mississippi or in St. Louis.
I forgot.
It's like a place I didn't even hear about.
It's a few of them. When you go actually look up how many stones like that they found, it's not, a small amount. It's definitely a few of them that they found. I saw the video just the other day. It's crazy. I'm gonna look it up still.
Sorry, sir. Plus the ones that was in Puerto Rico on the rocks.
On the rocks. All carved into the rocks to help the woman. You understand? I need to find that thing now. God damn. All right. Hey, did you find anything with Reagan?
Yeah,
please play it, all right? Give me some time. Let me look for this thing out here.
antagonisms in the moment.
All right, that was it. We say, you know, all God's people of the world. Once again, talking all slick with the lies. That's water coming out his mouth too, because really, he knows Christ is coming from the sky, and they want to meet Christ before he gets here. They want to meet him at what? The final frontier. These are the records of the Starship Enterprise, and they just make a whole series about this space crew that fights these aliens that are always evil. They never have one who helps them. The only one who helps them is the traitors to the aliens they will fight anyway. You get the point? That's the whole theme. They never meet one who, you know, has some technology to make sand into water that can bring back to Earth. Never. It's always one who Kirk having sex with, and you know he effing everything out like a white man, and they're killing everything. But that's what the culture is for, right? So now give me the Apocrypha real quick. Give me 2 Ezra 13. All right.
Come.
You can start at 1.
Come. Book of 2 Ezra, chapter 13, verse 1. And it came to pass after 7 days, I dreamed a dream by night. Verse 2. And lo, there arose a wind from the sea, that it moved all the waves thereof. Verse 3. And I beheld, and lo, that man waxed strong with the thousands of heaven. And when he turned his countenance to look, all the things trembled that were seen under him. Mm-hmm. Verse 4. And whensoever the voice went out of his mouth, all they burned that heard his voice, like as the earth falleth when it filleth the fire. Mm-hmm.
So now this is Ezra. He's seeing a vision. He's seeing a vision of these things happening. This man with all this power, and as soon as he starts talking, things burn up. You get the point? Things burn up. You have Revelations 11 and 3 where it says this is the 2 witnesses who where fire proceed out their mouth, and if anybody harms them, they'll die. So he's seeing all this thing, like somebody talking with power, and whatever he's talking to burns up, right? So now, give me skip down. Say again. Okay, no sorry. Skip down to verse 10.
Come. 2 Ezra, chapter 13, verse 10. But only I saw that he sent out of his mouth as it had been a blasted fire, and out of his lips a flaming breath, and out of his tongue he cast out sparks and tempest. Verse 11. And they were all mixed together, and the blast of fire, the flaming breath, and the great tempest, and fell with violence upon the multitude which was prepared to fight, and burned them up every one, so that upon a sudden of an innumerable multitude, nothing was to be perceived, but only dust and smell of smoke. When I saw this, I was afraid.
Right. So he's seeing this vision. And this man coming onto the water, and he talking on this fire. And this multitude ready to fight. But when the man talk, he see a blast of fire and sparks and, like explosions coming out of his man's mouth. And then when he tried to look at the multitude, he couldn't even comprehend it because all he saw was dust. But he didn't know what the hell this goddamn dream is about. Right? Keep going.
Come. Verse 12. Afterward, I saw the same man come down from the mountain and call unto him another peaceable multitude. Verse 13. And there came much.
Like you gonna arrest me? No, sir. I want to switch the reader. Let's get him a little break. Go ahead. So you need to check it?
No, I was hearing that.
Yeah, I think you do it from time to time. Go ahead, read the next verse while he catch up with you, all right?
No, I can't see these words.
Come.
No sweat. Barak, take it from me, please.
Verse 12.
Verse 12. Afterward, I saw the same man come down from the mountain and call unto him another peaceable multitude.
Right. So now he's seeing in the same vision, the same person come down from this high place, and he called another multitude. Go ahead.
Come, verse 13. And there came much people unto him, whereof some were glad, some were sorry, some of them were bound, and other some brought of them that were offered. Then was I sick through great faith.
God damn. Yep. And you hear people say they wish they could see an angel, Lord, or they wish they could have visions. Nigga, don't wish. Don't even bother with it. Just listen to the nigga. Listen to the man who does see that. You understand? Because he could bear them. But Ezra saw this shit and he was sick with fear. You know what sick with fear mean? He'll be sick with fear. You can't function. You see something so horrific, you traumatized. That's what it's talking about. But this was a dream. Anybody have dreams where they can't function for the next day? No. You have dreams like that?
You know, one of those ones where you feel like you're falling.
Yeah, but I get up and go wherever. I'm just talking about this shit. I'm talking about you can't function now. You don't have them type of dream. Ezra was sick with fear over a vision. Go ahead.
Come. And I awake and say, Thou hast showed thy servant these wonders from the beginning, and hast counted me worthy that thou shouldest receive my prayer.
Go ahead.
Show me now yet the interpretation of this dream.
Yeah, so he don't understand it. So he's asking for some understanding of this vision. Go ahead.
Verse 16. For as I conceive in mine understanding, woe unto them that shall be left in those days, and much more woe unto them that are not left behind.
Right. So he's saying, the only thing I know is whoever is there when this shit happen, they're in hell. They're going to be destroyed. They're going to literally be, it's going to be hell for them. And even more hell for those who left behind. Go ahead.
For they that were not left were in heaviness. Now understand I the things that are laid up in the latter days, which shall happen unto them, and to those that are left behind.
Go ahead.
Therefore, as they come into great perils and many necessities, like as these dreams declare.
Right, so a lot of things is going to happen. Now, Ezra says he realizing what's going to happen in that time. Great necessities, meaning what? You say a lot of perils and great necessities.
In this context, when it says like the many necessities, like the things that you're gonna need, you're not gonna have, like
the things that must happen, that need to happen.
Things that must happen.
Okay,
like people cry, for people in Afghanistan. People was crying for the people who had COVID in Wuhan. We was like more hurts. I ain't never seen gas prices at 119. I saved the picture. Pull up in Costco, I see 119. I was like, they need to eat some more bats. Because I need this gas to stay low. You understand? These things must happen. And people who, before the truth, you would be like, pray for peace, right? And here we pray for what? War. We pray for more war. We want it to happen. These things must happen. There's going to be a great number of necessities and perils. Go ahead, Nakama.
I will put the precept.
Please.
Okay. Matthew chapter 24, verse 5.
Please.
For many shall come in my name, saying, I am Christ, and shall deceive many. And ye shall hear wars and rumors of wars. Ye shall see that ye be not troubled, for all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet.
All these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet. These things must happen. That's what he's saying. All right, go ahead, read up.
Come. From 19. Therefore are they coming to great perils and many necessities, like as these dreams declare. Yet is it easier for him that is in danger to come into these things than to pass away as a cloud out of the world, and to not see the things that happen in the last days.
What is he saying there?
That was verse 20, 2nd Ezra chapter 13, verse 20.
Okay. Barack, I'm gonna also send you the link for that Bat Creek Stone on the phone.
Okay.
And we'll play that after we read this one. Slacky. I'll come to you, Shapa. Go ahead, news one, Shapa.
Basically saying it's easier for you not to realize what's going on, and like we say, you know what I'm saying, come out of the world
when
and
you
do
say
what you need to do.
It's in them days, it's easier to be in danger than to die. You might need a precept for that. It says some will seek death and can't find it. Okay, there's gonna come a time on the earth when you just gonna wish you're not there. Some of us go through it now, but that's in our community. The whole world is gonna be wanting to just die. You understand? It's just gonna be horrible. You ain't gonna be able to die because the Lord wants you to suffer. You know what I mean? Now the gangster, he rolling on the block now. Now you gonna have to suffer. He's keeping you alive. You understand? It's easier for you to fall into danger than to just die. Because you're gonna want to die.
Right.
But death is too good for you. Stick around, son. Stick around. I got more. I got some more tricks in this bag for you. Go ahead.
Okay. And he answered unto me and said, the interpretation of the vision shall I show thee, and I will open up to thee the thing that thou hast required.
All right. So now let's skip down to 25. So now this is the angel talking back to Ezra. First and second Ezra is real good to read. You need a little patience with it. Don't run through it. Try to understand it, because Ezra was a brother who was frustrated with Israel being oppressed. He was angry about it and he wanted it to end. And the angel had to check him a few times to mean like, you won't have to suffer this thing. He was born in this generation because the Lord thought he could handle it. So, man up. The angel had to check him a few times because Ezra was losing his mind. He wanted to know when it would end. But he would continue to ask, and now we hear where he see a vision of some destruction, but he don't understand it. And he's asking, he said he know it's bad, and he know this thing is, these things had to happen, but he don't fully understand. He asking the angel to break down the vision. The angel about to give it to him.
Come on. You got a couple questions online. I just
no sweat. Let me get this here.
Okay.
Please, go ahead.
Verse 25. This is the meaning of the vision.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas thou sawest a man coming up from the midst of the sea, the same is he whom God, the highest, hath kept a great season, which by his own self shall deliver his creature, and he shall order them that are left behind.
Mm-hmm. What are we talking about? Can you read it one more time?
Come. Verse 25. This is the meaning of the vision. Whereas thou sawest a man coming up from the midst of the sea.
Mm-hmm.
Is that referring to Christ?
You tell me.
Yes. All
right. Come on.
Verse 26. The same is he whom God the highest hath kept a great season, which by his own self shall deliver his creature, and he shall order them that are left behind.
What's that mean?
So being that it's Christ, so he's gonna have his time where he'll basically be led upon the earth, and he'll lead whoever or torture who's left behind.
Where it says lead. What does it say he lead?
You asking me?
Yeah, you said.
I changed it.
Okay.
I said more so torture.
Okay. All right. Come on.
But this is Christ is just saying. We're saying, you know what I'm saying? Of course, Christ rose up. Christ is the only man of flesh that's in heaven in the realm of the Most High.
Mm-hmm.
Most High. The skies are not cracked. The skies are not dark yet. So Christ has been keeping them. I mean, the Most High has been keeping Christ for a while. They're not sending him yet.
Mm-hmm.
And then Christ is saying, only the Most High says, which is his own self shall deliver his creature. Meaning, the Most High is the only one that can give Christ the order to come down. Send his creature, unless he's talking about the creature is the oppressor. Okay, the creature not the oppressor, the creature is Christ. And
the creature would be
who's going to destroy
it? The white man.
No. The creature gets delivered. He'll deliver his creature.
Oh, the creature is Israel.
Is Israel. He'll deliver his creature. Get the point? Right? This man who coming out of the, remember he coming out of the water like the flood, just in the lies. Right. With everything, he okay, don't think it's literal. Don't think Christ coming out of the sea. Christ is coming out from the sky. But this is a vision he's seeing, and he's getting the interpretation of what this thing means. Meaning when all this thing happening, this man gonna come, he gonna appear. And he gonna deliver his creature. But this man, the Lord was holding back until our appointed time.
Right.
You understand? Go ahead.
And he shall order them that are left behind.
And he will order them that are left behind. He will order them, organize them. He will lead them. I thought that's what he was going to say. That's all I was asking you. Don't change your shit to try to be right. Just try to learn it. Right? Go ahead.
Verse 27. And whereas thou sawest that out of his mouth there came a blast of wind and fire and storm, and that he held neither sword nor any instrument of war, but that the rushing in of him destroyed the whole multitude that came to subdue him. This is the interpretation.
All right, what are we talking about? Come on, come on, come on.
I mean, well, this is the last day. This is Christ's defeat. This is World War III. Or Christ defeating the people. That's why I said people that's rushing to him to destroy. It's like, but the rushing in of him.
The rushing in of him.
Because when I read this, I see that what pops in my mind because of Christianity is that Christian and Catholic caning of Christ with a sword coming out of his mouth.
But that's in the Bible. It said he will judge with a sword out of his mouth, two-edged sword out of his mouth.
Right.
The rushing in of him will subdue the multitude that was there to destroy him. Right?
It's like the fire being powerful words, but the rushing in being more like Israel coming into the spirit. Everybody, it's preaching. Like we all catching the spirit, and we just help destroy the.
Okay, we ain't catching the spirit. That's not what we do. We ain't catching the spirit at all. We need to learn and be ordered. Get the point? The rushing in of him means what? Come on.
So is it the quickening?
What do you mean?
Well, they say the rushing of him.
The rushing in of him.
The rushing in of him. Is it the quickening the spirit on us? Like
it's going to be there. We build it. But this is... Okay, this piece here is the end. It's going to explain it a little bit more. But let's read on a little bit more. Right? But just know that the rushing in of him was the end of them. You understand? That's what it says. But that the rushing in of him destroyed the whole multitude that came to subdue him.
Oh.
Right? Come on.
Okay, Slovakia. When Christ and the angels return, they say...
And how they return him?
In ships.
Right? But how they return based on this?
With war.
Oh, it's like is it the same when Pharaoh when Pharaoh was chasing Moses out of Egypt, they had a fire tornado?
Okay, that's how they was led out.
But the chariots is going to just rain down fire and burn up America.
That's how it's going to happen, but how are they coming?
So look, well, the scripture above us said that Christ didn't come with like anything of war. So I mean, is this part talking about like how like the government, all that stuff about to be replaced?
Okay, he's coming with war. He's coming with war. In the vision, Ezra didn't see him swinging nothing or doing nothing, but what he was saying was destroying everything. And the rushing in of him was the end of them who showed up to subdue him. So they come in from the sky, they come in with chariots. How did they come?
They all of a sudden,
quickly,
like really quick.
In the twinkling of an eye. I come like a thief in the night. They're not going to expect it. It's not going to be like how they try to set us up to think the Taliban just come in there Saturday morning. They just wake up one day, find guns and come in. But that shit been going on. That's not how Christ comes through. He gonna show up and there'll be no sign. There'll be nothing. He's just gonna, you're gonna hear that trumpet sound and that you're gonna look outside and you're gonna be like, oh shit. This nigga here. You get the point? The rushing in of him. Just think, you know, your family, Lord forbid, in a trap house, burning. You kicking in that door and you rushing in. And the rushing in of you deliver the family. Because you were so quick to act. Like he coming, he's showing up. He rolling on them. You get the point? Go ahead.
Come. Verse 29. Behold, the days come when the Most High will begin to deliver them that are upon the earth.
Mm-hmm. The them is creature, right? Who he created, which is us. Right. He created everybody, but we the ones was for his joy. Right. You get the point? Go ahead.
Behold, the days come. Salaki. Verse 30. And he shall come to the astonishment of them that dwell on the earth.
And he shall come to the what?
Astonishment of them that dwell on the earth.
What does that mean? He shall come to the astonishment of them that dwell on the earth. What does that mean? Come on, sis.
Is it for the Israelites that didn't believe, you know, and for Esau that I don't want to say didn't prepare, but
that didn't believe.
Yeah.
It's the same thing. The ones who are going to be astonished is the ones who thought Thanos was going to win. You get the point? You wanted to see the show, but there's some people who really think he's not going to lose. Our oppressor, he's okay. I can't even say that because the scripture says he know he's going to lose, but he's going out fighting. He know he can't win, but he's like, you know. I mean, put yourself in his shoes. You gonna give up America? You gonna give up going to the moon and being able to drop bombs on people and do what you want? Will you give that up, knowing that you're still going to die? Will you surrender? I mean, it's like, you can't even say it all the way because to you it's like, you know what? Yeah, I might do it. That's because that's who we are. We know I had no run. You know, the biggest drug dealer, he get cornered. All right, y'all got me. I'm done. A white man, you'll never take me alive. That's him. That's him. That's him. I told him one time. That's his spirit type of spirit. You get the point? That's him. He knows it's a wrap. But he is going to get the Lord to fight, and the Lord is going to wash him out. He think that's like every movie where somebody comes and fights for something, and because they fight so hard, they get it. No. And that's why that Thanos movie was so heavy, because what he stood for was kind of in line with what we believe. And for a minute, he beat everybody behind. But they have to continue the brainwashing. They have to make sure he's the villain. Even that Batman movie with Bane. Everybody remember that Bane, the one with the mask? Everybody could identify with what Bane said. Like, you know, bring power to the people and distribute the wealth and topple the rich. And Batman got a winner. How the hell Bruce Wayne gonna lose? If Bruce Wayne lose, what does that mean about the rich in society today? It means they're evil. Right. And for them to still be good, Batman got to win. For them to still be good, Doctor Strange got to win, and Spider-Man got to win. He had Homecoming 1, 2, and 3. He got to do that. And Thanos got to be an evil, you know, you get the point? It's preparing you for this thing here. Because when Christ comes, it's going to be to the astonishment of people on the earth. Why are they going to be astonished? I'm going to come to this now. No sweat.
I mean, first, they didn't believe it. They're not expecting it.
Okay, Reagan already said a day is going to come when a foreign entity comes in. So they're expecting it. They already, the FBI don't come and the Pentagon come and say, yes, we acknowledge unidentified flying objects. So they know there's something out there. We already have all the movies with the alien attacks. Right. What is going to be the astonishment?
Okay, so now if humans on Earth see a chariot, they expect to see a monster, but it's going to be a black man.
It's going to be a nigger. Right. That's Crystal going to go back. I'm going to be a nigger with an afro. You know what I mean? Playing some kind of hardcore music. I don't know. I'm just imagining shit. They do say the trumpet, but they're going to see a nigger up in the sky. And they're going to be like that part in Django where the Uncle Tom said, a nigger on a nag? And he went running. There's a nigger on a nag, like a nigger on a horse. What the hell is he talking about? A nigger? What? They're going to be even more enraged. Because that's who they would pull over. That's who they would abuse in the prison. That's who they would rape. That's who kids they would, drop on the ground in the damn hospital and say it was an accident and you mess it up, their baby up. Right. You get the point? Yeah. That's who they have in derision. And this nigga have all this power. Now to a regular person, you would be like, what? Damn, we was evil. Let me lay down. We know our oppressor. What is he gonna do even more? Because he don't. You are not going to rule me. You see that Christian? Not my Jesus. No. That's not my Jesus. That's in the military. That's the mark of the beast. That's in every person who will take up arms to fight on that day. You get the point? It's going to be to the astonishment of the multitude. Let's imagine ships showing up that flying every which way. You read the description of the chariot. You have a plane. The plane, in order to go that, if it's flying this way, in order to go that way, it has to turn around. It has to make a flip or a U-turn. Right. The chariot goes this way, stops, and then goes that way. And goes that way. It doesn't turn to where it goes. It says that in Ezekiel. It's here and then it's gone. And it doesn't go on either side. It just goes forward and backward and moving. And all the lights under it. And it's doing things that the world military can't handle. And then it put down some planes and you expecting to see some octopus green eye or the long head thing from X-Files with the big black eyes. And there's a nigger from Compton. And next to him is a spick from Puerto Rico. And next to him is, Chief guy coming up, big spaceship, bringing big wall. Them devils is going to lose their mind out. They're going to be shocked into anger. You get the point? Come on.
So like if I may, there was a brother at the job that's one of the federal employees that actually work in that field. And before it gets, to FBI all and above is when they'll start to distinguish, say, all right, we'll take it from here. But before it gets there,
let's go check on CPR.
Before it gets there, they monitor, the skies and all that and above what's going on. So the brother, I'm like, man, you got to stop telling me this because he's telling me stuff that he can get in trouble for.
Right.
And I'm looking at him going to encrypted, emails and all that and above. I'm like, chill, but I already, because of the UPK, we already hearing about it. It's not shocking to you. He's playing recordings that haven't been released on Google, haven't been released on YouTube. He's playing the recordings a couple months back in 2021. There was two guys, they was on a helicopter. Helicopter don't go too far. And he was playing the recording of the guy when he first called him in the middle of the night. And they record all these conversations. Right. And the dude is like, explaining to him what he just saw. And they in the helicopter, they going. And when they went to go describe it, they flying, all they seen was, it was so fast that they had to jerk the helicopter and it missed. And then it came back around. And the next time it came, it just stopped in front of him, stayed there. And when he was described what it was, he just said it was just a big, bright, like silver ball. And it just stayed there. You couldn't see in it. You couldn't see it all. They just stared at it. And the dude both of the dudes had trauma. They tried to give him medicine And he was going to how they tried to give medicine to make him
think what happened. He was sick with fear.
Sick with fear.
Sick with fear.
So the guy, so he was like, so he shows me, you know how Google Maps has the Google Maps had, you can see the overview.
Yeah.
And he was like, when you look at the recordings, he was like, man, this thing was going so fast, like it was faster than a jet. And he played the video of him moving, and these have not been released. And he played the patterns that they recorded. He was like, I promise you, it was like they was just playing with us.
Yeah.
He was like,
I was just gonna tell you. You see, like even this is just understand the Lord. He know what you're gonna do before you do it. So when the thing comes that you react, he already know you're gonna react to it. You read in Kings how he got rid of certain kings and princes who was evil. And he knew somebody was plotting to kill them. And he let this shit happen anyway because this motherfucker, he evil. That thing that passed and they moved, they knew they was going to move the helicopter. So, but they thinking, we moved. No nigga, I knew it was going to move. That's just to show you how much I can stunt on your ass. Now I pull up in front of you, now you're shitting bricks. Now you got to go for PTSD. And you know, you can't sleep at night and all kind of shit. Come on.
Yeah, I'm about to bring the same thing brother bringing up. It's actually
So what?
It's actually U.S. Air Force generals that now like on a Joe Rogan show or come out in news interviews, and they bring out like certain recordings of, okay, well, we was on a fighter jet and this is what my team seen. It was here in the sky, and then it disappeared, and then they picked the location back up. It was like 40 miles away.
And they don't understand how.
It was 40 miles away at hovering over the water.
Right.
And then there's another recording where you can see like it was something that was following, and then just disappeared, went in the water, disappeared. It was like, well, some code they used it. Well, it submerged, like it's gone.
Right.
It just
listen, that's the imagine that. How much they say? 200 million angels, and all of them had their own whip. The rushing in of him, man. It's going to be bad. It's going to be bad.
Oh, sorry, so the description of the chariots in the scriptures, Esau talks about that because they basically defy all laws of physics. And it's it's a movie in Hollywood. It's an old movie. I forgot the brother that played in it, but the chariots is literally on the ground and people are walking up in the chariots, but it only took up black people. I forgot what movie that was. It was a known brother. His face is known. I think he used to play on one of the TV shows like Silver Spoon. I know he was in the movie Media Man. I think he
can't remember. But for sure, okay, it's stuff like that they have to get in front of now, which is why they're coming out acknowledging shit. Right. Because now the lie is gonna come. They have to acknowledge it first. Yes, these things exist. They move like no other, and you know. In the near future, you're gonna hear some transmission they receive that says, "Yeah, they're gonna kill us all." That's gonna be the cue of let's all, you know, we are the world, we are the children. Let's get together as one and fight that thing. You get the point? That's once again the lies. And out of the water, this man gonna appear, and he ain't had no weapons, but shit getting burnt up when he talk. You get the point? And that's where we are now. Let's just keep reading, right? Let's finish up for the time.
Verse 31. And one shall undertake to fight against another, one city against another, one place against another, one people against another, and one realm against another.
What is that talking about? Kamaya?
Okay, so for sure, a city versus a city. A people versus, a place versus a place. So I can imagine. We can say cities. We can say cities within America fighting against each other, or you just,
yeah.
You can say a place versus a place. You can say North Korea versus America, or Russia versus America. North Korea.
So
Russia
what's going on?
World War III.
World War III is going on. Now remember, this is a vision. He's showing them this thing happening. They're gonna be astonished when they see him, and at the same time, they're gonna be fighting. They're going to be fighting World War III. Wars, rumors of wars, the Valley of Decision, the Valley of Jehoshaphat. That's where the Lord going to pull all of them down into that big party, right? Which is the Middle East, right? Which is why he's giving it back to the Arab. The scriptures say in the end, every man will return to his own people, his own land. He's giving it back to them so they could start stirring the pot. And you see Russia and China say they're ready to help the Taliban. You all read that, right? Yeah, Russia and China say, you know, Hong Kong, Kong. You know what I mean? Russia said we're gonna send Yuri with 12 bottles of vodka. You know what I mean? And what you all need? You all need guns. What you all need? Pull up. They're ready to help the Taliban. And Biden gonna take some flack for this shit here because people in the military gonna be angry. Trump already saying he should resign for letting off, taking the heat off of the Taliban. It's set up nice. It's set up real good. And then the Delta variant is in the wind, ready to cripple the economy again. Somebody gonna just push the button, and then they're gonna be fighting. They're gonna be fighting each other. And then, just like Reagan said, this enemy is going to appear. Right. And then all their differences is not going to matter. All the fighting they're doing, that shit is not going to matter. What's going to matter? That thing. Okay. Keep reading.
Verse 32. And the time shall be when these things shall come to pass, and the sign shall happen which I showed thee before. And then shall my son be declared, whom thou sawest as a man ascending.
Right? All these things going just like the prophecies before. World War III. Just say Matthew 24. Nation fighting against nation, kingdom against kingdom, realm against realm. You know, rumors of wars, earthquakes in diverse places, plagues and famine. All these things that I told you before is happening. And then shall the Son of Man appear, just like you've seen before with him ascending. What is that talking about? What is it talking about there? Where he said, "Whom sawest as a man ascending"?
Is this when he left his grave?
Yeah. That's when he left. After when the disciples saw him going up into the cloud. Remember, it says in Acts, just as the angel said, "What you marveling at? The Son of Man is going to come back just as you see him leaving in a cloud." That's in Acts. It's also in the Apocrypha for anybody who tell you Christ is nowhere in the Old Testament for these quote-unquote Old Testament Israelites. This is Christ here. It's talking about him. Just ask them who this is talking about. Right? Who is ascended, who is supposed to come back and conquer the earth? Yes, it's not Enoch. You get the point? Go ahead.
Verse 33. And when all the people hear his voice, every man shall in their own land lead the battle they have one against another.
Just like what Reagan said. Our differences ain't gonna matter. When the people heard his voice, meaning they're gonna hear that horn and they're gonna hear him, that he gonna be declared. You get the point? He gonna be declared. They're gonna be like, yo, what the hell is this? They're gonna start fighting each other. Right? Go ahead.
Verse 34. And an innumerable multitude shall be gathered together, as thou sawest them willing to come and to overcome him by fighting.
Right, that's what Ezra saw. He saw this multitude, and he was like, they was there, but then the man from the water opened his mouth, and then he couldn't see what the multitude was, and then he saw dust. So he knew something got burnt up, but he couldn't figure it out. He said, that's what you saw. This multitude, what you saw in your first vision, that's these nations trying to fight Christ, which is what Reagan was talking about in his Star Wars initiative. Right. You get the point? They're going to turn all their weapons. They're going to start pointing their guns at each other and aim it at the sky, because ain't no way a nigga going to rule us. The white man going to serve an Arab, or an Arab going to serve a white man. But serving a nigga? Hell no. Hip-hop and fried chicken? You must be out your goddamn mind. We're going to fight. And Christ is going to destroy them. Keep reading.
Verse 35. But he shall stand upon the top of the Mount Zion, and Zion shall come, and shall be showed to all men, being prepared and builded, like as thou sawest the hill graven without hands.
You understand? So what is that talking about? I'm going to give it for time's sake. You're going to see now Zion being builded, right? Like a hand, like graven without hands, meaning prepared, like somebody chiseled the mountain in, but with no hands. Nobody put hands to it. He's talking about us. Say, as you're going to see now, all this preparation we're doing, this is we Zion. You get the point? Don't think the vision is linear, like, you know, like the start of a movie, chapter 1, 2, 3. This visions is bam, bam, bam. You see them coming, they're fighting, he going to show up, he going to kill them. 1 minute he on top of the mountain talking to more people. he's seeing that, and the angel explaining it to him. Keep reading. Just a few more verses.
Verse 37. And this my son shall rebuke the wicked inventions of those nations.
Say it one more time.
And this my son shall rebuke the wicked inventions of those nations.
And this my son, and son is in capital. Once again, ask the Old Testament fool, who is this talking about? Why is the son S, capital S? Why is it not a regular S? Because this is the Son of the Most High, the Son of Man. This is talking about Christ in the Old Testament specifically. There's no about his name right here. You get the point? But he is the one who's going to deliver. He's the deliverer. Right? Go ahead.
Which for their wicked life are fallen into the tempest.
What is that talking about?
Well, them being burned up.
When he said he will rebuke their wicked inventions.
Oh, any, I don't know, tanks, weapons, nukes.
This same man who preparing Zion, all the atomic bombs and shit, Christ's going to do something in that day that's going to make them run. Like, they think they have their power because they could push buttons and fire rockets and just let off. Christ was, and they try to show it in the movies with Matrix, how he stopped the bullets and the superheroes bending the tanks and shit. They try to show you to kind of desensitize it because they want people on their side to defeat Christ. But brother, Christ is a Judite. Bro, you go to the court, you doing
Forget about it.
Come on, man.
Forget about it. John will come.
You doing it down where you touch the side of the shoe and then go into the ring. You know what I mean? They're going to remember that shit.
John will come.
Brother, you see what I'm talking about? You understand that? You understand this, so you understand that.
And that's the vision.
Listen, I'm trying to tell you. Like our king is in Judah. This got to be a show. This is not just, drop a bomb and go home.
Right.
This is a spectacle act. We wait till the whole movie, the movie at the end, where he just gonna come and just, freeze everybody and transform them into slaves. No, he has to do something like this and niggas tear in two. And then he raise the heart up and then bust it. I don't know. That's the kind of power I want. I want to be able to look at people and they explode. Now, half of me trying to do that at camp. Y'all don't know. When I get done here and looking at this, they're like, explode. I want him to just bust. I pray for it. I pray for that type of just looking at him and he just bust. But Christ is going to put on a show up. He said he rebuked their wicked inventions. It's like correcting it. It's like a child. You're rebuking it. He is going to destroy them. Keep reading.
God will come. From verse 35. But he shall stand upon the top of Mount Zion, and Zion shall come and shall be showed to all men, being prepared and builded, like as thou sawest the hill graven without hands.
Go ahead.
And this my son shall rebuke the wicked inventions of those nations, which for their wicked life are fallen into the tempest.
Right, they get fallen into this trap because they try to rise up against the Lord. Keep going.
Verse 38. And shall lay before them their evil thoughts, and the torments wherewith they shall begin to be tormented, which are like unto a flame, and he shall destroy them without labor by the law, which is like unto fire.
That's what he was seeing. Because he's seeing this man and he don't have no weapons, but he destroying them. He destroyed them without labor. How do Israelites say that today? Come on. Yo, this is a nigger talking. I'll finish this without labor.
That's light work.
Light work.
That's light
work. It's light work. Ain't nothing. That's in the Bible. He will destroy them without labor. A white man reading this would think, well, it means he just stop and they'll put down their weapons and serve him. No. It means he's going to kill them and he's not going to sweat. Light work. Right. What does it talk about? What does it mean when you say I lay before them their evil thoughts and the torments with which they begin to be tormented?
So is it saying he's going to show them everything evil that they did, and then they're going to kill themselves.
Not kill themselves. You on it. I want it a little bit more.
It's like it's emptying their dirty laundry. Now they feeling it.
What is that today? That exists right now today. Remember the vision. Ezra saw some people coming to him happy, some sorry, and some bound up. Remember that?
Oh, God.
So he's laying onto them all the evil and all the torment that they're going to face.
Like court?
Yes. Yes. What happens when you walk in the courtroom? Mr. So-and-so, come forward. Do you swear to tell the whole truth and nothing but the truth? I do. Why are we here today? Well, Your Honor, Mr. So-and-so, he did this, he robbed this person, he did this. Brother, they go into court. The problem is, no matter what the lawyers say, they're going to jail. But he's going to give them a chance to talk. And then he's going to say, we're going to take this injection here, this needle, and we're going to fill it with gasoline. And we're going to inject your body with it. And then we're going to put fire in your mouth and you're going to burn from within. Do you understand your sentence? No. Take him away. Next, George W. Bush. Oh my God. No, hold on. What's the drug dealer? Reagan. Nancy Reagan. Just say no, Nancy. Just say no. No problem. And you start to read out their sentence. Christ is going to hold court. And that's what brothers say when I'm going to hold court. He's going to hold court out, and he's going to bring them forward and lay all the evil they've been doing, which is why it's so, and Lord help these brothers and sisters, it's so stupid to take up arms to fight this nation. You don't know what they did. You don't know what they did 400 years ago. You don't know what they're conspiring to do. You can't perfectly make them pay. Christ has their record out. Christ, they're going to call some name, and you're going to be like, who the hell is that? And this is the nigga who was just, eating babies in slavery. So something ridiculous that you didn't even know what's going on. And he's going to read out their record. The same thing they do to us. When we go, you did this, you did that, you did this. Lord, I'm changed now, I'm changed. They don't want to hear that. Right. Do you understand me? Do you understand your sentence? Do you understand what I'm saying? Do you accept your sentence? That's going to be done to them. Brother, that's hope. That's enough to change your life out. Yeah. That's, Thanos, You really want Thanos to win? Come to the Israelite school at UPK. That's all I'm going to say. With that class over, please officer.
ISUPK security announcements. We are the ISUPK out of 1 West, 125th Street, out of Harlem, New York, under Commanding General YAHANNA. New rules for brothers and sisters. When a new brother or sister comes into the school, they are off limits for 6 months. They are to be saluted only. They are here to shed themselves of the world. After 6 months, if a brother or sister has an interest in a particular person, he or she must get permission from the head to speak to a brother or sister. There's another 6 months in which the brother or sister will court each other. After this 6-month period, the brother or sister will get permission from the head to marry. Tithes, which is a commandment. You can find this in Numbers 18 and 21 and Malachi 3 and 8 through 10. Means 10th in Hebrew and is pronounced ma'ashra. 10% of every penny of any increase the Lord gives you, you give to the Treasury Department and teacher. Priest fund, free will offering for priests, not mandatory. Whatsoever amount you would like to give. Upcoming Holy Convocation. The next one is this Saturday coming up in New York on Randall's Island. That will be the New York Cookout. In New York on Randall's Island this Saturday, which is August 21st. Salakia. The next one after that is in Texas, which is in October 7th through October 10th. The next one, Las Vegas, November 11th to the 14th. And then Florida, December 2nd to December 6th. Remind Akim and Akwathium to check on social media such as ISUPK.com, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and so on for ISUPK events and materials. If a brother wants to become a trooper in the school, you should start wearing all black, which includes black boots, black shirts, black pants, black headband, or scarf. And with that, say a mitre, which means to stand. Give one courtesy salute to the teacher. Men of Israel, a mighty Shabbat, a mighty Barak, Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Yahweh Saw, which means to turn so you can stand. Give one courtesy salute to the sister. Men of Israel, a mighty Shabbat, a mighty Barak, Yahweh Hashem Yahweh
That's my talk. Class dismissed.